What's up, guys? How's it going? I didn't do the millennial pause, all right? I didn't do the thing where when you press play, then you hesitate to speak and you don't start speaking right away. I didn't do that thing. So now I'm just doing the thing where I look at the I look at the camera and I get all real intense and talkative. I got a pizza in the oven, waiting for people to enter the room and ask questions, give me money. That's what we're doing. My skills and my expertise tapping into the quantum depths of reality, the narrative, the storyline, helping you alter and change it as I swipe left and or right on Hinge. Not so much, either X and or heart on Hinge. What's it gonna be? You can tell some of these people are on the app for a reason. Who's gonna get pregnant? I told you once before, I took home, and I'm gonna go that home. I'm gonna go the fuck out of here, all that bullshit. I bought a Tinder Platinum subscription recently, and boy, am I fucked. Tinder Platinum, Tinder whacked 'em. You know what I'm saying? That pizza alarm going off, dog. Wow, wow, wow. Bitch, you at the U.S. Open? I don't think that this is going to work. Bow, bow, bow. I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about hoes. I don't give a fuck about your toes. Your powers, your toes. No, I don't know. Tinder Platinum, like you get all the people that have liked you and they're warlocks, and you know, whoa, and everybody that you like has a booming, successful career, or is a whore, so or is a man, so it just don't work. You want the real? You come here for the real. You don't come here for the real. You come here for the real. Baby, let me love it there. I tried to do live earlier. That was not happening. I only got to do live when I'm after I'm back from doing deliveries because then I'm on, and then this is like a cakewalk. Um, but yeah, I don't mind bullshit. I don't mind bullshitting, doing some live. Crazy. I know. You're someone's wife here. Oh, I see. Sorry to hear. Yes, 4.5 years. Crazy. Crazy, huh? I know. Yeah, crazy. But hey, probably loved each other. Where did it part ways? Did he not want children? Or cheat? I matched 35 days ago with this fucking Fran Dresser looking ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? 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 This bitch gonna look at my profile and be like, Can I borrow a feeling? Can I borrow a feeling? These dating apps don't work. These dating apps work. Let me know in the comments if these dating apps work. Actually, I met my ex on a dating app. I met my ex on Hinge, and she was unhinged. Let's just say that. Let's just say that my ex was unhinged. That crazy, stupid bitch broke my heart. Girl, she broke my heart. But it's okay, 'cause I bounce back. I got that pizza in the motherfucking oven. I got that pizza in the motherfucking. I like how some asshole just jumps in the room and then leaves because he's a piece of shit. You piece of shit. That's so funny. She looks like she's been ran through. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't give a fuck about bitches. I don't give a fuck about hoes. I don't give a fuck about your hoes, your toes, manicures, and toes. Somebody fucked the shit out of her. She was some birdies very free. If you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion fits? Turn it on the reds. I live in Los Angeles, but I am from the Chicago area. I will give you details enough to know. Let me at him. AM to the PM. If you jump in a room and the video says tarot reading and you ain't ready to spend $20 on a tarot reading, you are a terrible person. Okay. I got got some pizza in the motherfucking. So yeah, just chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, shooting some people outside of the school. Chad Colgan, you son of a bitch, Chad Colgan. I did a reading earlier for somebody, and she was like, "Oh my god, I never thought of that. I never." And her whole thing was like she was with a guy or something, but like it's been a month that they were together, and like she wants him to like let her in and get emotionally involved, and he's all like, "Fuck you." You know what I'm saying? He's all like, "Fuck you," because he doesn't want to get hurt, and she wants probably the house, the family, the kids, the marriage, all that bullshit. And he's like, "Fuck you. Why am I gonna do this? Because you could get it out of me, but you don't really like me for me. You just want what you could get out of me." So that's how it comes across, ladies. I don't know if you know that nowadays. Like this whole shit of like, well, a man wants a woman, but then a woman wants all this other shit. So a man has to give her all the other shit to get a woman. That shit's played out. That shit's not going to work anymore. That's not real. That's not right. That's not successful. If this world and this life becomes what can a woman get out of it, and then she's just some old miserable whore at the end of her life, then what the fuck is society doing structurally that it's allowing for this? And then all these men that have like provided for them, they're just getting fucked in the end and divorced, and it's not right. So to me, I just think it's like this fucking competition where women are just competing for this great glamorous lifestyle, doctors and lawyers and da 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 da. But it's like, what does it all mean if it's all corrupt and bitter and like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean anything. It's bullshit. So I don't know. I think we just have a lot to kind of question and reevaluate as a society as far as our priorities and our values are concerned. You know, like me, I left the 9 to 5 and like sitting at a desk and being chained to a desk and all that bullshit. I just didn't have the right kind of structure and the guidance to try to, seize that opportunity correctly. But um, so I don't know. I just feel like my parents were schmucks. Like they didn't have any guidance. They were just led by fear and all that bullshit. So, and my mom was a schmuck as far as like just wanting more, 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 but never really kind of doing the foundational work of like, do I even like the motherfucker that I'm with? And the answer is no. But she fucking chose to be stubborn and just stick with the whole like, belief of like till death do us part with my dad. So it's like, okay, fine, maybe there's some virtue there, but it's like you're not really learning how to communicate with this fucking dog that you're married to, this Neanderthal dog that you're married to. You guys are always barking at each other. So it's like, and then her just being like avoidant and evasive. And it's like, well, what the fuck? how are you expecting to create some sort of bond with your children if you're always having people live in our house, you're always renting out the extra room, you're always doing this, that, and the third? And it's like, how am I supposed to formulate a bond with this kind of emotionally not present or available father figure and then this kind of chaotic mother figure? So, motherfucker. So now for me, it was like, moving to LA was, par for the course as far as like, well, what's keeping me here? I moved back home to help my family and I didn't receive a thank you or anything. So for me, that was just like a slap in the face as far as like, well, what the fuck am I sacrificing my life for? Because you're like manipulating me so that you could lean on me so that you could keep up with your lifestyle. Like, that's just not right. So, and now as I'm older, I kind of feel the same thing with like people are like trying to call me back, and it's like, why? For what? Like, so people are gonna start dying, and like now I'm gonna be obliged and guilted into like going to their funerals and shit. Like, fuck you. Pay for my airfare, bitch. You know. Meanwhile, what are my options? Like, get a regular job and like just fucking wake up in the morning and then work for somebody. And I did that for 10 plus years. It doesn't sound appealing. I mean, I sent out my resume, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I even would want to do that. Um, I've been having it so good. Even this morning, I was just like, well, fuck, man. Loving the idea that I could just like sleep in. And it's like, ugh, it's amazing. I don't gotta like answer to anybody. So it's like, how do you put a price on that? Like, what's the real worth and value of that? It's almost priceless. It's almost worth fighting for. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, you gotta try to understand the mindset of like, talk about mindset, boy. Talking about like understanding a certain mindset as far as like wealth and all that bullshit. This pizza is piping. Put salt and garlic and chili powder on my pizza. Barely even eat this hot ass pizza. Sure, whatever. Why are women such whores nowadays? Has it always been like this? We just do now? I guess. Mm. Trying to decide which app I like better as far as the interface is concerned. Pizza. I would suck. Faggoty ass shit, I swear to God. Sorry. Sorry, guys, I forgot my mic.
dancing in there the whole time. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, because you are that sniper. You really are a sniper of humor. You know, it's like where can you? It's almost like you have a nail gun, and with these jokes and that, where did you start out at? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started at the comedy store. Yeah, and there to sign up. Shia LaBeouf's dad. As crazy as this world is, I made friends with Shia LaBeouf's dad at Starbucks in Burbank. And I was procrastinating starting stand-up comedy at the time. And at the time, right then, 2007, Shia had just signed this crazy Steven Spielberg deal. And for like 5 pictures or something, it was great. We didn't even know it was going to be Transformers and all these other things. Like, it was still just the infancy of Shia LaBeouf. So there was this like buzz around the coffee shop. I was out playing poker with these Armenian guys, and they're like, "Look, that guy is over there. That is Shia LaBeouf's dad. He's this wizard-looking character." So I made friends with him, and I told him, he goes, "What's your plan?" I go, "I want to be a stand-up comedian. I think I'm gonna go up to this ha-ha or this chuckle hut, whatever it was, at North Hollywood." And he goes, "You shouldn't do that. You should start at the comedy store. Let them see you start, sink or swim. Pressure's gonna get to you, and you get there anyway. When you think you're ready for there, you're not gonna be ready for there too. So you might as well not be ready for there now." It was like great advice. It really was.
Wow. Well, I think for some people that advice is like you want to get good before you go there.
Right.
But he was saying just stand in the fire.
And it worked out. I signed up for that thing, and I got like number 15. And I watched the first 8. It was the first 8 people I'd ever seen do stand up. They were doing 3 minutes, and they're just like really bombing. I think I got this.
And for people who don't know, I remember going to that too. I would go and sign up. So you would go, was it Monday night?
Sundays and Mondays. You had to be there by 6 o'clock.
And you'd sign and put your name in like a bowl or something.
Yeah, you sign this one big piece of paper. And then it goes back to the employees who are literally like, all right, that looks like a new name, that looks like a new name, and then like after that, they sort of just put people that they know, and they sort of earned it, like, oh, they've been doing good lately, give them number 15.
Right, there's a little bit of mafia back there that makes some choices. So you had the 8 people that went up, and you were like, so you always kind of had that confidence. I mean, you have this crazy confidence where it's like, here is God, who's probably not the largest in stature, gets so much dense confidence. It's like fucking plutonium or something. I feel like isn't that a little bit in that level?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's a combination of having stubborn Italian parents and being from a weird, tough, crazy neighborhood, getting into a lot of fights with bigger kids and survive back in the day. So I'm just happy to be in the dance. When I got to the comedy store, like, I'm happy to be in LA. I'm already winning. So like, no matter how this is, it's gonna be great. Plus, it's gonna get better. It's not gonna be this bad again.
Yeah. So you get up, and you're 9th in the line.
Yeah.
And it went well.
And I prepared for months, and I blanked out. I forgot everything as soon as I got up there. But I literally said, as happy and as cheesy as it is looking back at it, but I literally go, wow, I've never done this before. I prepared for months. Every day I wrote, and I cannot for the life of me remember one single thing that I wanted to say right now. And those first 8 people were all doing jokey jokes that, like, comedians are in the back, like, when I said that, there was this pop in the room. Like, looked up because it's like, wait, this guy's like being honest right now. And it's the first time they had seen that, 30 minutes into that show that night. And that's all it was. 3 minutes of me basically going, I don't know, yeah, still can't remember. Can't believe it. Wasn't expecting this to happen. Like, just nonstop, I'm still trying to think of one thing. And like, what's funny is that one went really well, and then the ones after that for like months were the bad ones. When I remembered my jokes was the bad ones, which is pretty foreshadowing, for people that know my comedy style. Because I like going off script, and you know what I mean. Like I like playing and being in the moment, trusting, and it's sort of like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Like I like that dangerous part. Where it's like maybe I'll say something that I thought of on the drive to the club that night that's not finished. It's just a premise, and you have like a race to finish the joke.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll think about it. Got a couple seconds left, almost to the end of the sentence.
Yeah, it's almost like dynamite. Like you like to light it before you even know what the ingredients involved.
I like to flip around my hands a couple times, catch it behind my back once, and then see what happens.
So that was what, 15 years ago?
Almost 16 now, May 2007. Yeah. How did you started?
I started at I did a comedy class actually called Judy Gold Comedy Class. And Ben Glee was in it. This man that called himself Chicken Man was in it, and he would literally get up there and see all chicken.
Whoa, what happened to him?
I don't know. I think he got involved in the fast food business somehow. And then, yeah,
It's perfect.
I saw him years later on the street. He was talking about fry cook or something, like a new oil, I guess, that's helping those people do better or whatever. But yeah, I remember that. And so at the end of that class, you got to get up for 3 minutes, and it was like, oh wow, you got to form your improv. You got to tape of it, so it was like, man, so when you leave that with a tape and you're on stage, you feel like you're a comedian, But I didn't really get going until I think I probably went over to the Comedy Store and signed up. Yeah, it was just, that's really for me, I think, when you really start to feel like, okay, I'm dropping this. There is something about the Comedy Store. Or there certainly used to be.
It's a cool building.
Yeah.
It's intimidating. All those signatures. So like immediately people are like, how do these things are cool? How do I get my room? It looks cool. Oh, there's Jim Carrey in the same font as this newer. That's a younger guy. I just saw him. He just walked by.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I get my name? Right? It's like tricky. It's like screaming blocks away. It's like, look at that. You're taking it out. Plus it's black and white.
Yes, it has a very dark, you can feel a bit of history in there. It feels kind of sordid. You can feel people's energy when they walk through the hall, like what's going on with them, even if they don't say anything. You can feel the nervousness of some people. You keep running into people you're not even sure if you know them or met them before. But yeah, when you get up on the stage, it's just like you have to. So fast forward though, now you live in Austin now. So you made that move to Austin. And it's interesting we're talking about the first time on stage because one of the things that, like I know you've done Kill Tony for a long time. How many shows have you guys done?
Over 600. We're about to have our 10-year anniversary in June.
And for people that don't know, Kill Tony is, well, you tell them what it is. So,
Well, it's like a crazy comedy show where comedians watch newer or older comedians do 1 minute. They sign up for the chance to get 1 minute uninterrupted in front of a bunch of fans on the internet, and then I interview them afterwards. I guess comedians dose in jokes, contribute. We find out more about the person. So not only if I pull their name out, a bunch of people sign up, names go in a bucket, pull their name out, they get a minute. And then I interview them afterwards. Not only do they win like a minute of uninterrupted stand-up, but then all of a sudden they're on podcasts for like 8 more minutes.
Yeah.
Where I interview them and tell them about their life and make jokes about their set and their life and ask them questions and try to figure out what's different about them. Sort of like pulling from I was raised on like Howard Stern old school interviews. Like you always ask the right questions at the right time. Like you get more information and it seemed like you should have out of these people. And that's sort of what I'm trying to squeeze out. Sometimes I'll just hit up with what's the weirdest thing in your refrigerator, or what's your biggest fear, or what's your family was raised by a single mom. And I've asked so many of these questions that I've built sort of a to where I know where things are going. I can already tell them. Yeah, exactly.
it blew my mind. I'd done it before, and then recently I fell in love with it. I just, I don't know if I forgot, whatever. But so I was down there in Austin, and you guys had me on Killzone, and this was probably maybe 2 months ago. And I come out on stage. I hadn't been on stage in a while, so I come out there. I'm sitting there, and you guys, and there's just it is packed. It is packed, and there's people there's people behind barricades. It's insane. The people that have driven hours come in, they put their name in, and they want a chance to be on stage, and then they get up there for 1 minute. Dude, 1 minute is not enough time. That's the thing. 1 minute is not enough time to do really almost anything.
Sometimes it's way too long for some of these people. Sometimes it's forever.
I sat there, I was amazed at how much, man, my feeling, it took me back to when I first started in moments where I remember feeling one time like my face was trying to get behind my skull so that I didn't have to be there with I literally what is it going? But you're right there, and it is like the most intense moment of so many people's lives. And I was sitting next to you, and then there's Brian Redman, your co-host, and the band is behind us. And you're right. You can feel the fear and the uncertainty off of the lungs.
You can see the beads of sweat that form on their forehead right after the set, or in the middle of the set. Sometimes if things aren't going well, and if the set goes good, you see the beads form during the interview part. You can sort of tell what they do and don't want to talk about. What you do for a day job, oh, they don't mind that. What were your parents like? All of a sudden, it's like you can tell because you see the sweat. So that means that the parents are will watch this. They think they're going to see this, so they're not close, but they're close enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just from body language and things, I can see how they're feeling and what to push more on, and what I can get more of, and if I make fun of them, how they laugh at that. If it seems genuine, that means I can go even harder. Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you are a paper cut sometimes. It's so, it's like, how is it, you are a fucking paper cut?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to be the guy that ends up, being last. I was a skinny little, tiny little ratty white trash Italian kid, one of the only white kids in a predominantly black neighborhood that I grew up in.
Oh.
So people are out there walking around, hitting people with dog leashes, and there's a whole bunch of trashy shit going on all the time. So I always use words as a defense mechanism immediately. Kids laugh at the one kid that just got a joke made about him, all of a sudden they don't mess with him anymore. And, all the teachers said, making fun of people is never going to get you anywhere, and I hated teachers growing up. I looked at them like the ultimate bullies. I went to a weird, evil sort of private school, bunch of angry nuns and sisters or whatever.
Yeah, really black women?
No.
Oh, religious women.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good. Yeah, people are nuns and black. I guess it's fucking it'd be a long afternoon.
But I always wanted to kind of prove them wrong. I'm like, I can't do these words. I think you can get good at anything. So writing on the roast was a real pleasure at the time, and those were a big televised event.
Yeah.
So that was like an honor. It's a legit job. All of a sudden, health insurance from literally making fun of people, and then all of a sudden, Martha Stewart saying something I wrote teleprompter for Peyton Manning, whoever, all these heroes that people look up to. All of a sudden, they're saying dirty words that I got them to say.
Yeah, because you got the job right for Comedy Central, right? Yeah. And that's when the roast was so fire, too.
Fine. Then, I don't know what happened. They booked Alec Baldwin for the last one. They booked him too fast. We should do that one now. Let's run it back, right? Post you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so good, huh? Is he going on trial? What's the latest with that?
I'm not sure. That's tricky. was a tricky one. See, I moved to Texas, so now I have a gun, and everybody has a gun, and like I'm like everybody should have a gun. And then I think about him, maybe everybody should have a gun.
Dude, he's shooting out his wiener too. Did he just have like a 6 or 7 kids? He has another child too.
Can't stop.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm giving life and taking away it.
He's like a fucking Game of Thrones character. Wow. Yeah, but it just blew my mind about the Kill Tony show. If people haven't seen it, you have to see the show. And one of the wilder parts was one guy comes up, he did a minute, it was not good, right? And he's up there, he's like, man, I was drinking before, I was just so nervous. So some of these people are wasting it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, we're talking about his life with the phone drama. So then part of your show is you have a band there.
Yeah.
You got a blind guy in it.
Yeah.
And
Madness.
yeah. So
He has his own day, you know.
D Madness does?
Yeah.
Oh,
February
yeah.
14th is D Madness Day, you know. He's like a famous musician. A lot of those guys are literally that is high level of musicians. Studio, live, they do it all. That keyboardist is on tour right now with Gary Clark Jr. And if you see him and Gary play, Gary like is looking right at him and they're doing the thing. It's not like some background keyboardist. You know, they're like they're doing this shit together. They're like a unit.
Yeah.
Everybody leaves Gary Clark Jr. shows going, damn, that keyboardist. And like, you know, I'm really good friends with Gary. It's another reason why I moved to Austin. And he hooked me up with that guy who hooked me up with the rest of that band. And, you know, we already had a band in LA, Jeremiah and Joel and Chris, and they, you know, everything happened so fast during that pandemic, and everybody's, you know, opinions and viewpoints were so different. And Red Band and I hit the road because we had to do a live podcast. There was no, you know, everybody else got to go to their studio, keep doing their show. You know,
That's right.
as
That
ours,
shows a lot.
because it's in front of a live audience, we were dying hot as death. I mean, it was horrible. We tried for a while to have people send in minute-long clips, and then we would live stream the interview, and everything's clunky, and everybody's internet sucks. People are just frozen on the screen, and it was just a nightmare. Plus, there's laughter, and I feed off of that. Like I always say, I'm one of the worst podcast guests. I get into these things, and I like shut down after like 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But in front of a live audience, I could riff. Like if we were on a stage with 2 microphones, we could go for hours. I had a blast. So we were dying the slowest death, and Red Band and I needed a crowd, period. So
How long did you do that for? How long did you guys do that Zoom stuff?
man, she's traumatizing time in life. I'm guessing it was like 2 or 3 months.
Wow, did it almost kill the show? So you ever thought that maybe the show would stop?
No, I mean, the pandemic made it seem like maybe the show would. There was a second there where it looked like, once we were in month 2, 3, 4, I think all of us were a little bit like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, God, we have to remember first they put all those people on ventilators and basically killed all those people.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say that, but it was like, my brother was like, we just put 200,000 people on ventilators, and then it was like 2 days later, it's like, oh, we should have put these people on ventilators.
They had no idea what they were doing.
God, that's crazy.
Scary as hell.
That whole thing is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
But,
So Austin's like, come do it here. Bars are open.
Yeah.
I went and did a stand-up show there, and in November 2020, and I hit up Ron White beforehand because I knew he lived in Austin. And I'm like, hey, I'm doing a guest spot on the show, going next Friday, whatever. And he's like, where are you staying? And I'm like, I don't know if I got a hotel yet. He's like, you're staying in my penthouse suite on top of the city. I'm going to show you a good time. And it really started like immediately.
I think it's a guy that has cigars in his house.
Oh. He's got the ultimate setup.
And if the hot tub is just tequila, it's just only tequila. Yeah.
He's the best, and he like rolled out the red carpet. Oh my god, he sold me on it. I mean, Rogan was like the finishing touch. Everybody thinks like, oh, Rogan went to Austin and all of his cronies went with him. It's like, No, Austin sells itself. Everybody that goes there, you were there, you see what it is like.
It's nice.
And the things that we're doing, the live music and everything, it's just, the food is unbelievable.
Food is open.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
it's the same reason. It's like, I don't believe a lot of the shit that they're doing with this pandemic. They're killing more people by locking people in. Like, especially in the recovery community, they shut down all the AA groups. So I had 500 overdose during the pandemic. Unbelievable. Now, you know, like, because people need to have that connection.
So do whatever, 16 hard, do something.
So,
There's other ways to go about it than just locking in. Well, it'll be over any second now, 1 week to stop the spread or whatever they're saying. But maybe looking back, immediately any of us start sounding like a conspiracy theorist. Wow.
that's it.
Looking back, wow. Economically, just the insanity of shutting down so much stuff and looking back at what it actually was. Like, if you were extremely unhealthy and probably had less than a year to live, this was going to get you. That's the reality. So those people that were, or, you know, they call them underlying conditions, which basically means like it's a, you know, the clock is ticking.
And yes, they just definitely, they set a little, you know, they just kind of, they really set a little alarm bell early on.
Yeah.
And they took,
No snooze button there. Now the only people I know getting it are the boosted triple backs. People like those are the only, because in Texas obviously there's a lot of unvaccinated people. You know, people that are like, give it some time, let's see what happens here. I don't want
yeah,
my
widespread
face to go
panic.
numb or whatever the hell. You know, you can always tell it's got that booster. They come up to, hey, everything's good. Go away in a couple months. It's fine. It's not a big deal. You look right at me. Why are you making that? You know what I mean? Like, but we have to play along like, oh, it's okay, you have to finish the show.
Imagine having one extra day every week. That's right, more time to cook or grill you something. Or griddle up. You do griddling. Get you a healthy meal. Or work on that novel, or just binge some really good reality TV, whatever you like. Now it's possible to have an extra day every week with ClickUp, the productivity platform that'll save you 1 day a week on work, guaranteed. ClickUp, again, with the premise that productivity was broken. There were too many tools to keep track of, too many things in separate ecosystems. There had to be a more productive way. Well, ClickUp is the one tool to house all your tasks, projects, docs, goals, spreadsheets, and more. It's built for teams from 1 to 1,000. Whether you're in project management, engineering, sales, marketing, or HR, ClickUp has easy-to-use solutions that create a more efficient work environment. Use code THEO to get 15% off ClickUp's massive unlimited plan for a year, meaning you can start reclaiming your time for under $5 a month. Sign up today at clickup.com and use code THEO. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic. Guys, let's talk about t-shirts. You know what I'm talking about, t-shirts. Finding that perfect fitting t-shirt can be terrible. I swear it's either too tight or too small or too wide or 2 arms. Sometimes you get one that's 2 arms. Like 2. Why is this so arms? Luckily, True Classic wants to make every man look good and feel good. Tighter fit in the chest and sleeves to make your arms pop and room in the torso to get things cozy and keep things cozy. That's right. And we have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time, only get 25% off with the code THEO at trueclassic.com. That's right. Almost all of men's t-shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think skinny model fits 6. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few years. And there's nothing wrong with that. I ain't. You're wearing the wrong clothes. True Classic will help you figure it out. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade
That's funny.
your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with code DEO. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. True Classic. When you look good, you feel good. Dude, I was thinking the other day, I was looking at my balls. I think my balls had Bell's palsy. Is that possible?
You have balls palsy.
Yeah.
Balls palsy.
I was just like, dude, everybody's nuts having Bell's palsy.
I'm with you. I got one side of the life for some reason.
Bring up some Bell's palsy. Let's get a look at it. Yeah. I haven't looked at this in a while.
Bell's palsy. You know who had Bell's palsy? It was good old JR. Oh, yeah.
So what's up? Man.
Oh, good.
You don't mind. Thanks, brother.
It's a scary thing.
Bill Palsy's always real wild, man. You know, I used to be friends with Vince from Shanghai, right? And he had it. And so in his commercials, he would wear that microphone to cover that part of his mouth so you didn't notice it. Yeah. His story's magnificent, man. He got hired to sell his rags one day on the boardwalk in Venice. He started selling, he was like, oh, I'm good at selling these. And so he just like licensed himself, bought some ad time on a couple different networks, like sports networks, and they weren't selling. And then he bought time on Comedy Central. And for some reason, the way that it came across, it was like comedic, but also like a product. And it just, look at this, yeah, right here. You gotta have some good comedic up here. Oh, man. So, maybe that's smart.
Some of these look bad, and then I see that that's the before. I'm like, oh, man. It's
now this lady, some people look kind of good on.
Everybody looks like they're like hybrid.
Yeah, some people got that little hiccup at the cheek. It's almost like they have a hiccup, they're just kind of stuck on one side. Yeah. That's like, oh, yo, look at that lady. That Asian lady, the red.
Yeah.
Man, it's wild, isn't it though?
Yeah.
You don't think about those nerves being in your face, man.
Yeah, that's rough. Dice had it bad. Remember, it was like a news story.
No,
Andrew Dice had Bell's palsy. He was scheduled to come to Austin the next week. And it was the only show that I had been looking forward to. I never go see stand-up comedy shows. And I'm like, I want to see Dice and Vulcan in Austin. This seems rock and roll. And he did not cancel. That motherfucker went up there. Out his face. Electrocuted. Dead half face. And he fucking used it. And he talked about it. He did a Sammy Davis Jr. impression. I swear to God, this motherfucker killed so hard. It was such a fun show to see.
I've never had it, but I would like to learn more about it. But to go back to your show, so this was an amazing part was, so the guy said he didn't do well at the comedy, but he said I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
So you guys have this part of Kill Tony where if somebody plays an instrument, they can challenge somebody in the band at that moment for the person's spot in the band.
Yeah. And what's wild is that it's always been a weird part of the show that I always had, and now all of a sudden we're in the live music capital of the world. So it's even, even the stakes are raised even higher. Some guy who thinks he can play guitar from St. Louis, or some guy that can play the drums from, Dallas. It's a big deal to these musicians to be in Austin. They recognize what's going on. Plus the pressure of the internet. Plus they're in front of a live audience. Plus they're going up against somebody on their own home field. And it's never happened where the resident drummer's got to beat.
It hasn't.
Ever.
Because I was like, suddenly, because I love the underdog always, right?
Always.
And I didn't have any attachment to the band. I don't know it either.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, this dude didn't get this. But this guy has a shot right now.
And if he wins, he's on every show from then on. So you're a full-time band member. If you win, which nobody ever does.
This got tanked, bro. This guy.
Yeah.
This is so bad.
Was that the one you drop the sticks right away or something?
I don't
We had another one recently where the guy's like, I've been waiting my whole life for this, Tony, and he starts, and the first drum that he hits, the stick goes flying back, and you see his soul leave his body. He ended up getting it and catching up a bit, but he put a little challenge in. And the harder the first guy goes, that just means the resident drummers, they get to see, which is the ultimate advantage. Going second's a big deal.
and you like you just I feel like you're like a drink. You're gonna be
I'm a nightmare thrower.
or like you just like it's just this world. But it's such a the whole thing, the whole show has this. It's that moment that like I'm gonna try this. It's gonna be captured. Can
You're so fucking excited that you're gonna win, but you can't look at everybody. That's what everybody. I'm about to fucking win. I'm about to fucking win. Alright, why? Between anxiety and excitement, it's so fine that you start believing you're excited as anxiety. You think that you want to act with control, you think that you're so fucking excited that you're gonna win, but you can't look at everybody. That's what everybody. I'm about to fucking win. Jimmy G back at it again. Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? You see this right here? Jimmy's got some beef cheek. Alright? Are we using a fucking decanter? Oh, that's right. This Jimmy needs a little sip. But that's my guy right there. Alright, we're gonna see off the fucking beef cheek. Okay? Get it nice and crusty. Just put it to the side, a little carrot, a little fucking celery. Some onion, shallots, garlic, whatever. Holy shit, here we go, Jimmy. Little tomato paste, there's your fucking wine. Only the good stuff for Jimmy. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's some fucking potatoes. I know Jimmy's gonna do potatoes right this time. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, yes, look at this fucking creamy sauce. Jimmy. What are we gonna do? We gonna strain this shit, Jimmy? We gonna show, of course, Jimmy's gonna fucking strain it. Oh, Jimmy's gonna reduce it back. Do a little waste. A little butter. Come on, Jimmy. Look at you go. I love a little fucking greenery. Jimmy, Jimmy. I love this. This is beautiful. model I'm trying to accomplish. Sometimes I'm scared of off.
This being hands to protect my head.
Man, let's talk about your finances. Listen, which are looking incredible. We're opening with the Eight of Wands here. Mercury in Sagittarius, right? Things that similar when it comes to making money. Resources, the clients, new situations, new things that are going to lead you into more abundance coming into your reality, right? But let's talk about this. Because there's a little bit of scarcity mind left over in you. We have the Three of Swords here, right, which is Saturn in Libra. And so what I'm saying here is in the past few months, particularly this, where some of you started at the beginning of summer. They wanted to get rid of all of your self-limiting beliefs when it came to finances and abundance and manifestation. So they isolated. They provided for you. You were put under training sort of holding pattern by the universe. They wanted to get rid of all of your self-limiting beliefs when it came to finances, abundance, and manifestation. And so they isolated you. They provided for you. They gave you enough money to pay your bills and rent or mortgage or whatever your responsibilities were, but no more than that. So it was really tough. It hit you really hard emotionally here and mentally, because we're talking about the Three of Swords here. But the reality is everything was in order. They needed to teach you balance. They needed to teach you how to become a master manifester, the super manifester. And you did, you're graduating, right? Because we have the Eight of Swords, right? Mercury in Sagittarius, saying that your finances are improving incredibly in the last quarter of the year, right? October, November, December, right? And so we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Swords, right? Mercury in Sagittarius, saying that your finances are improving incredibly in the last quarter of the year, right? October, November, December. Right, and so we have the Nine of Pentacles here. I don't know if the camera is focusing, but this is Venus in Virgo, you guys. Absolute perfection, luxuriating, right? An environment for December, right? And so We have the Nine of Pentacles here. I don't know if the camera's focusing, but this is Venus in Virgo, you guys. Absolute perfection, luxuriating, right? An environment that you feel like, finally, you feel like you can rest, particularly with your finances, and space for some extra luxuries. Now, I'm not advocating that you become reckless with your spending, but the money's going to be good, so you are actually allowed to indulge. You're allowed to treat yourself, to continue manifesting this good flow of money, but don't be reckless with your money. Have some luxuries. The shadow side of the Nine of Pentacles is overindulgence. So don't overindulge, don't be reckless with your money. Just indulge yourself in what you need. And treat yourself.
Don't you be holding back your love, don't you be holding back.
2 hour sun. Oh, I'm coming in. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Come on! I'm just like disappeared in a cloud. It's just like my legs are just dangling out. It used to be. It looks like I'm coming out of a nebula in space. Oh, I'm coming in. Oh my gosh! Come on! I just. Like disappeared in a cloud. It's just like